want to show you guys the process of what we're doing now to get tons of people on the webinars and get them excited and get them to show up and all those kind of things, and kind of walk you through the funnel process. So I'm going to pull this down here now. So this is one of like 10 different registration pages. And I'm going to show you guys a whole bunch of them here just so you can get different ideas of what we're doing and how we're doing it. But this is one of my, this is the control. This one is made us a lot of money. And so a couple things about it. The first thing I want you to notice is, you notice right here we got the one thing and the 3 secrets. So if you look at my page, like the only copy on this page almost is, here's my one thing, and down here are my 3 secrets, right? If you thought through your one thing and your 3 secrets a lot, like that's gonna be the best copy you got. so I that's basically my landing page. That's number one. Number two, the thing that gets people to register for a webinar or join a squeeze page or whatever that is curiosity. Excuse me, curiosity and pain. Those are the 2 things, right? And so I need them to, like, whatever my one thing is, whatever my headline is for this thing, it has to be something they cannot figure out in their mind on their own. Okay. And so for mine, it says my weird niche funnel is currently making me $17,000 per day and how to ethically knock it off in less than 10 minutes. Okay. Like the human mind looks at that and they're like, that doesn't make any sense. How could someone make 17 grand a day? And then how could I ethically, how could I ethically knock it off in less than 10 minutes? Like there's so much curiosity wrapped in that thing that you have to, like, if you read that for the rest of your life, you'd be thinking like, what the crap, like, what was that thing again? I wish I could find that webinar because I got to figure out what his weird niche funnel is. Like, I got to see what that thing is, right? It was funny. We did our certification program last week, and one of the camera guys, he's my main camera guy brought his like intern to come and help him. He's a 16-year-old kid, and the kid, like, afterwards came to me. He's like, hey, I have a question for you. So I saw this webinar thing online on Facebook or whatever. He's like, it said that you make $17,000 per day. Is that true? And I was like, actually, like, we make a lot more than that, but one of our funnels makes 17 grand a day. Yes. And he was like, oh, that's so cool. And he was like so excited because he like didn't think it was true. And then when I found out it was true, then he was just like going nuts because he wanted to figure it out, right? And so they see this, like, it's curious. Like, I can't figure that out. Okay, I see people all the time that are like, that their headlines are like, the fastest way to lose weight. Okay, the problem is that I can think like, what's the fastest way to lose weight? Probably cutting out carbs. Okay, in my head, I think I can answer it, so then I don't register because I think I can answer it. You have to leave it so curious based they can't just answer it in their head. If you do that, that's what gets them to register and gets them to show up. Okay, sometimes people register, they don't show up because it's not curious enough. Okay, so that's the key, guys. Is you gotta like invoke curiosity. Like I can't stress that enough. Of all of our split tests that we've done over the last 5 years, like what I found consistently across the board is that the more curiosity based the headline is on a landing page, the more people will respond. If it's opting in, registering for register, or whatever. Okay, that's it. Okay, and so again, that ties in the whole. Now that becomes the title of my presentation. That becomes my one thing that ties into my 3 secrets. So all those pieces kind of come out here. A couple other things. Notice this picture back here. So you see this picture. Like, what does it look like? It doesn't make any sense, right? Okay, there's a theme here. Like, here's me doing the hang loose sign. Is that a phone? Is it hang loose? I'm holding this like picture. It's like a website. In the background, there's this huge website back there. Like what is that, right? It's just raw curiosity. Like, I don't know what this is. We tested tons of different pictures back here, like beach scenes, all sorts of things. This one crushes them every single time. I think it's because like it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, what in the world is that? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so there's kind of your theme. The less sense you make on your registration page and the more curiosity-based you are, the more people are going to opt in. So there's my hard, fast rule for that. All right, so that is one of our registration pages. I'm going to come here into Clickfunnels and boom, I think this is the right one. Okay, so for me, in my market, like, I know that for my webinar, like, this is like the majority of my market I'm going after. Right? These are internet marketers, it's business opportunity seekers, it's people who this would be interesting to them, right? But I know that my product, as I scale this and grow it, I know there's going to be other markets that I also want to go after that this message isn't going to resonate with them, right? Like a chiropractor is going to see this and they're not going to resonate with it. And so, but if they were on the webinar, it would resonate with them and they would buy the product. So I re-niche out my front end page to kind of to speak to different audiences, if that makes sense. So Awesome. Of course, we can application everyone we're live. So anyway, I'll show you some of the other variations of pages here in a second. Right now I'm going to go through this. So here's my first page here that I'm going to register. So I'll register here, and you'll see now it takes me to page number 2 in the funnel. Hey, this is Rob. After they register, and then they land on this page. And on this page, this is where, my job's not done yet. I caused some curiosity, but now I got to like drive it home and get them to actually show up. So a couple things I do here. First thing, I got a video from me saying, hi, thank you so much for registering. And I'm talking to them like, this webinar class is going to be amazing. This is what it's called again. This is what you're going to learn. I'm just getting them fired up and excited for that webinar, right? That's the first thing I do on this page here. Next thing I do is, for me, I like to have people, first off, write down the date and the time of the event so they don't forget. You have the date and time here. I added this because some people, like, they register and go to webinar and send the email for some reason. They're like, I need the email again. So I added it in on this page. It's like, if you didn't get a webinar, you can re-register here. And this takes them just directly to the GoToWebinar page. So it's just kind of like a second backup. It's like when I went skydiving, the dude that was hooked to my back, he had 2 parachutes. And so I'm kind of a big believer in that, and just like throwing on a second parachute just in case. So that's my second parachute. For some reason, they didn't get the GoToWebinar link, right? Then over here now is I want them to do stuff before they show up to the event. Okay, there's a couple different schools of thought on this. One of them is, and this is like Frank Kern, he always sells something on his thank you page to try to cover his ad costs for the webinar, right? So, because if I spend, I think on average we're spending between $3 and $5 for someone to register for our webinar on Facebook. So I want to make sure that I recoup those costs before the webinar. So I usually on the thank you page I'm selling something. So for me, what I'm selling is I give people a free 2-week trial to Clickfunnels. So my video says that, say, hey, thanks so much for registering for the webinar. Now, before you get on the webinar, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Clickfunnels. You need to go get a trial to Clickfunnels. If not, you're a moron. I don't want to say that, but go get the trial, click on the button down below, and go get a free trial. So they click on that, they go get their free trial, and then it starts putting them into that process. They start using the software. So now when they show up for the webinar, they're predisposed to it, they understand it, they're more likely to buy. Okay? The other concept, again, is like, let's say you're selling whatever. You're selling a $1,000 video course on the webinar. You might want to do like, hey, I've got a $27 video quick start guide. Go buy that right now. It's a quick start to help you get started into this whole video marketing, whatever, right? So I'm selling something to kind of help cover the lead cost. But secondly is I want to get people in the process of buying with me. Okay, human beings are really interesting characters. Like when we're in motion, it's hard to stop us. When we're not in motion, it's hard to get us started, right? And so I want to get the process started. I would rather somebody have bought something from me before I pitch them $1,000 things than not. And so I'm going to try to do that here on this page. So for me, I'm selling the free trial. So they're not buying anything, they're putting their credit card in before the webinar, right? And then I start doing this down here just to, again, make more money on our lead costs. And I have step number 1, here's the dates, times of the webinar. Step number 2, go get your free trial. And then step number 3, go buy my book. Okay, so now I'm kind of selling 2 things here, but they're just kind of like, each of these are really simple offers. Free trial, free book. They put in their credit card, but now like I'm making money before the webinar ever starts. Does that make sense? So that's kind of what I'm doing on my registration page. A lot of different things. The core things, I'm getting them excited about the webinar, making sure they write down dates and time. I'm trying to sell them something. So that's what I do on the thank you page. All right, let me show you guys. I think I might have found the 3 indoctrination pages. Let me see if I can pull them up real quick. Okay, so these are the videos. After the register, I send out these 3 videos here in a row. So this is video number 1. All right, and I kind of went, sometimes I get thematic, is that the right word? Dramatic. I get all excited, so we do these high production videos. You don't have to do these. Most of our students just do iPhone videos, but we filmed this whole thing in the Octagon. It was really fun, right? So video number 1 was the anatomy of a $500,000 a month sales funnel. Video number 2 is how to design your funnel, and video number 3 is how to build your funnel in 10 minutes. Okay, so I kind of do similar like a product launch if you have seen product launches before. So the first thing, they get video number 1, hey, here's the anatomy of a $500,000 a month funnel. So they get to watch this video. It's kind of fun, entertaining, so they're not bored. And kind of just,
they should try out.
And this is where I show the funnel, and I just kind of, they see that process, right? A couple things what else I do. I'm reminding them, hey, the webinar's happening here. Don't forget your free Clickfunnels account. Here's the 3 secrets. So I have these other things on the page as well. Just keep reminding them that this is happening. But that's kind of, that's page number 1, right? Then the next day they get video number 2. Which is right here. Okay, this is when I talk about how to design your funnel. So it starts in the Octagon back here with these guys. And then I come here to the office and actually we map out a funnel together, me and Mandy, and gets them all excited. So now I see here's the funnel. So I show them how to design their funnel. So now they're like, oh, cool, now how to design a funnel. Okay. And then video number 3 now is then I show, so the whole point is I try to show like, here's Chris, who's like a really good designer. Here's Mandy, who's like an author who's never designed anything. And Mandy was able to beat Chris in how fast to build their sales funnel. Like she built her whole funnel in time. He started like halfway through the landing page, which is kind of fun. And then we transition and then I do a demo on Clickfunnels. Okay, so you see how like those 3 videos just gets them excited about Clickfunnels and the webinar and what's happening, all those kind of things. And that's kind of the point of these, is just to get people excited so they're going to actually want to show up on the webinar. Okay, and again, everything on the page around here is, here's your ticket again. Webinar's happening in 2 days. Write down these steps. Here's a video talking about what Clickfunnels is. And so it gets them more and more excited. So when they show up at the webinar, and I'm like, how many of you guys know what Clickfunnels is? Half the people are like, oh, I signed up yesterday. Oh, I just found out about Clickfunnels. And a lot of times it's funny, like they don't even remember that like I'm the one that told them to sign up, but they're like, oh, I heard about that somewhere the other day. It's like, yeah, on the emails I sent out to you about talking about Clickfunnels.